Okay, hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Thursday, May 24th, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. This is Loshak in the Bag show for May 24th, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. You are watching SBR Sports Picks. We come to you from sportsbookreview.com, sbrforum.com, sbrodds.com. Jimmy the Bag, we're off to thank you everyone who bared with us, whatever it is, in the morning show with all the technical issues. The afternoon games were a little bit annoying. I don't know if you saw what happened in the afternoon games. I did get a winner with the Angels on the second half. The Angels -1, of course, were a lean. It was a lean, and that one cashed. But look, line shopping really matters. Like I told you, Jim, on the overnight line, I took the under 9.5 in the Toronto game, and you took the over at 9, and of course it did land on 9. I also talked about how I bet the under 9 in Pittsburgh on the overnight line, and in the morning show, there were no 9s available, so I took 8.5. Look what happened. Landed on fucking 9, a 2-run home run in the top of the 9th inning. So I got a push on my bet on the overnight line, and I have to take a loss on my official record. That is frustrating as hell, son. I should have seen that one coming a mile away. If a line is 9 on the overnight line, and then it's 8.5 in the morning, and you decide what the hell I'm going to give it anyway at 8.5, it always lands on fucking 9, and you're sitting there being like, why did I do that?
Giolito got me right in the old drink hole.
Yeah.
Right in the old bottom mouth. I got to let go of that.
Yeah.
I've got to let go of my thoughts on being ahead of the market with Giolito. He was terrible. Couldn't hit the strike zone. I made a mess of I'm only down a unit because I pushed the other one, but I made a mess of it. The Angels well, you know what? To be honest with you, I wasn't sure what Tropiano was going to give, and I was fortunate. I don't know if you know, but Ohtani, they challenged the play. Ohtani was out trying to stretch a single into a double, challenged it, and Drelton Simmons got him home for me to get the push. That was that was fortunate. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Drew Martin joining us. Drew Martin,
what's up, Drew Martin? Drew Martin, I'm sure Drew Martin feels my pain here. Drew Martin, I bet the under 9 in the Pittsburgh-Cincinnati game on the overnight line in the morning show. I wanted to give it as a pick. There were no 9s available, so I took 8.5. It lands on 9. Now, you might think, all right, so the free pick I gave out lost, but the bet on my personal accounts got a push, so I should be fine. No. Why? Because I care more about the picks I give publicly than the bets I actually make. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
I do know what you're saying. Of course. I mean, not of course. Some people are different, but I mean, we got people that believe in us, so you want to give them winners. Drew Martin says, Jimmy and Pete, I hope to hear you guys screaming from the other side of the office.
Right? Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it could happen. Who knows what the hell's going to happen in today's show? I'm just feeling a little bit annoyed with myself. Yes, I care more about the picks that I give publicly, where I have no money on. I'd rather win that bet and lose a bet on my public accounts than vice versa. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's tough. Paulie D saying, bet of the day, Brewers alternate line, -2.5. Alan Action coming in saying, swept the board last night with Celtics, Marlins, Mariners in play of the day with Caps.
Yeah.
Feel like another good night.
And I talked about it so much. King Rail giving some WNBA picks. We lose viewers when we talk about WNBA, so we're going to do this real fast, just a few seconds. King Rail says, Mystics first half -2.5, full game -5, Sun money line. That's it. Please don't leave the vid. Please don't click off. We're going back to baseball right now. Just wanted to acknowledge a couple of WNBA picks from King Rail. We do tend to lose viewers when we talk about WNBA. Anthony L says, I had under 8.5 in Pittsburgh. Great bad beat I took there. Yes, Anthony L, I talked about this shit in the morning. And in fact, I believe it was Vitalis who said that he loved the under at 9, didn't like it at 8.5. And there you go. Look at what happens. Let's see what else we have, and then we'll talk about other games. Mark Lathrop says Mariners with 5 double plays, and I'm sitting on an over wager. Good Lord. Yes, that is another play that I did take. I took Oakland -1. That's looking like it might push here unless Oakland can put a run up in the bottom of the 8th. So that's another frustrating result right there. And the Angels cashed easily on the second half, but also liked them on the -1 line, and that one cashed easily. That was just in my leans column. So, this is the way baseball goes. It's been a little bit annoying. Picks that we gave on the overnight on the morning show. Jim has no picks in the games for the morning show, and I did give the second half under in Mets Milwaukee, and I just realized the Cleveland game starts in 3 minutes, so let's quickly talk about that. I also did give Houston second half -125 as an official pick. That's going off in 3 minutes. Jim, do you have anything to say about the Houston-Cleveland game? One thing thing of note is that Kobe Valentine really likes Houston. In the morning show, it had moved 10 cents from the opener, and it's now moved another 6 or 7 cents from the morning. So a lot of money coming in on Cleveland. Interesting.
I was leaning towards hammering that over. I talked about it quite a bit in the early show. Wanted to make the play. Feel like after seeing these two guys May 18th, then maybe they'll be a little more susceptible. Obviously, whatever Charlie Morton is drinking when he goes home at night is working.
Oh, that's injectable. That is not. That's not something you take through your mouth. That's something you eat that's injectable. Maybe through your bottom mouth. You know what I'm saying? But that is whatever he's on is injectable. 2 cc's here, 2 cc's here, 5 cc's here, 5 cc's here. That's fucking synthol and Trembolin and whatever else they got. It's good. It's working.
Maybe through your bottom mouth.
Maybe through your bottom mouth.
That's a bumper sticker.
Yeah,
that's a bumper sticker waiting to happen.
That's what they say. They say that Stevie Nicks injected cocaine through her bottom mouth. Did you know that? You know that?
I didn't know that, but I do know that that the big fad for young women in America is to dip their tampon in vodka.
Something like that. Yeah, all sorts of crazy shit.
No, not something like that. Exactly that.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Yeah, I mean, whatever Charlie Morton is doing, in all seriousness, whatever Charlie Morton is doing, it's working, and that's all we need to know. But a huge, yeah, JK says bottom mouth. Holy shit, I just bust out laughing out loud at work.
As you should.
I feel like that's a repulsive term, yet it has gone into all of the areas of my brain, and I now use it. I don't know. Strong line move in favor of Cleveland, Jim. You got a couple minutes if you want to make a pick on this game.
No, I got talked off. There's people on the under right here. My man Ralph Portwando on the under. Parlay Poppy telling me that tampons and vodka is so 2012. I hate to be behind the times.
Yes,
so,
yes,
my
absolutely.
fault. My fault, Parlay Poppy. Jose Ing on Houston money line and the under. Drew Martin saying all good, man. I'm sure he's speaking about the vodka and the tampons, saying it's all good. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, man, I get it. I love it.
Unreal. All right, so I'm assuming that you have no play on this game. I did give Houston second half minus 125 in the morning show. Again, something weird is up with the Cleveland Pen. They started the year great. Recently, they've been bad, but Houston's Pen, of course, has been very reliable and strong all season long, as we expected. Very modest line there, minus 125. So I took it. Houston's second half minus 125 was a play I gave in the morning show. We'll see what Porcello does. We'll see what Morton does. We'll see what Clevenger does. But clearly, the market, as well as Kobe Valentine, is favoring Cleveland as a home dog.
Wow,
here.
Joe D giving us a great stat. Take a look at what Cleveland's done last 40 at home versus a right-hander, 32-8. Jesus, I didn't know that. I do think that the Indians are much better than their record gives them credit for. I said that a ton early in the year when they weren't hitting and they were still winning, and they didn't seem to follow through with that. I still am expecting it to come.
Yeah.
I'm still expecting that bullpen to get its act together.
Comic Ricky says, could you guys talk faster? Holy shit, do we talk I mean, we try to pack in a lot of information, and we also have to fit in love and jokes in between the information.
Forgiveness?
And the picks, forgiveness. Also? So, yeah, I understand, Comic Ricky. We do talk a little bit fast for some people's taste, but there's a purpose behind it. We're trying to cram everything into 1 hour, and you think 1 hour is a lot. Not really. Okay, other comments coming in. CC Fitness, I'm on Houston money line, going against the market move. Ralph Portuando says Houston under, Jimmy. Okay, Anthony L says blindly bet Astros Indians first 5 unders, just low hanging with those two together. And I think we are leaving some money on the table, ignoring some of these first 5 inning unders that have been cashing recently. That Mets game, remember we were talking about there was a Mets game recently where we wanted to take the first 5 innings under and we didn't, and it cashed. So Anthony L liking first 5 unders in the Astros and Indians game, at least tonight. Let's see what else we have. Huge shout out to Indian Rail, who has joined us. King Rail says everybody cracking jokes about WNBA in 17 and he's 17-8 in WNBA, including in play. That's right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying yes, we're losing viewers when we talk about WNBA, but as soon as you post a glorious record, the view will add viewers.
King Rail says everyone cracking jokes about WNBA, as Danielle Bergoli might say, and everyone laughing like something funny. Nope, 17-8 in WNBA does not. That's very impressive. And WNBA has big edges. Godmother 87 in the morning show. I don't know if you caught this comment. Godmother 87. I don't know who that is. Seems very sharp. Said if you know what to look for in WNBA, there's big value there. And
I know what
that
to
is
look
true.
for.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's see. Yes, Kobe Valentine says I like Cleveland, Pete, not Houston. Sorry if I misspoke. if I misspoke. Kobe Valentine predicting a score of 4-2 Cleveland. So Kobe Valentine expecting a good start from Clevenger and liking the under. Paco Healy also liking the under. Again, Anthony L liking the first 5 under in Astros Indians in the Astros Indians game. Interesting.
Yeah, Remy CV, my man Jeremy says everyone hated curling till Pete posted positive units on it.
I did. And it wasn't that hard. It was just basically looking at small sample sizes, big underdogs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Legitimate programs, and you take that. All right. So WNBA, I guess. All right. Where am I? Oh, here. Moses J says, "Don't dog WNBA. I'll bet on how many times Loshak sips his coffee over under 12." Shout out to Moses J.
To that
Funny
mug,
comment.
Man?
I don't know, man.
Falling apart. You're rocking a camel jacket. Yet you got this homeless dude's mug?
No, because the camel jacket, of course, as regular viewers will know, I got for free. I did not pay cash or credit for it. I paid nothing for it. Got it for free, courtesy of Sophia. Sophia, who handed me a bag full of shit. I rifled through it and found this, coffee mug. If I want to replace this will cost a little bit of cash. And right now, that is not something that I'm in a position to do. You know what I'm saying? Lay out cash for shit. Once again, I made Larry a high five and Larry and Jim laugh, motherfuckers. Parlay Poppy like an Astros on the cheap price. Clevenger will deal but get hit. Also looking at full game under 8. Wow, so everyone liking under here. Astros trending huge to the under, says Parlay Poppy. And we all know Morton is crushing it with his PED life. Yeah. Everyone liking under. Hope you guys cash. The game is already off the board. I took the second half money line. Richard West. Always understated. Always want to listen tight. Never uses cap. Rarely uses cap. Says Indians will roll tonight. Book it. So Richard West liking Cleveland as well. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? Moses J2 shout outs. Yes, that's right. Kobe Valentine says Vitalis public is on Boston. Not enough public to get me to fade them. So I assume he's talking. Wait, which Boston is he? He's talking about the Red Sox game. Yeah. All right. So.
Oh no, I'm going head to head with Tony Soprano tonight.
What's that? What does he got?
Soprano's got the Golden State Warriors.
Man, I don't know. We will talk about that in we talked about this a lot in the morning show. Jimmy the Bag like in Houston. I said I was leaning Golden State and the under. It definitely feels like a bounce back spot for Golden State, but maybe not. But a lot of people in the morning show were definitely agreeing with you, Jim, on Houston. I can't remember what was the mix. Was it 50-50? I don't remember.
No, I think there was slightly more people on the Warrior.
Were there?
I'm trying to remember, but I feel like through Twitter all afternoon that there's more people on the Warriors.
Yes.
I mean, it's hard not to hear Scotty Rock in your head all the time too. I mean, he does speak in capital letters. I don't know. Brian Manning says my dream is still in the making to be just like Pete and Jim one day.
Yeah, please. Best show ever. Period. I like that one. Best show ever. Period. Brian Manning, as far as your dream is concerned, might want to give a second or third thought to that before you lock that one in. You know what I'm saying? But I understand. I hear you. Thanks for the compliment. All I'm saying is before you start praying for that at night, I want to give it a second or third thought. Might want to try to take a step back and take a bird's eye view of the whole thing. But he also says, in caps, best show ever, period. Huge shout out to Brian Manning for that comment. Thank you so much. Media executives, take note. SBR ownership, brass and hires up, take note. Thank you, thank you so much. Let's see. What else do we have here? Here we go. Mama Joma. We will talk about NHL. He says, I told you about Nashville. I told you about Tampa Bay. Now I'm telling you about the Rockets. Well, different sport, though.
Yeah, they don't bounce basketball on the ice, Muhammad.
I trust Mohamed Joma implicitly in NHL, in NBA. Very, very different sport. But he's telling. So what did he tell us about the Rockets? He likes the Rockets. Oh,
no, he definitely does not.
Golden State wins by 8-12. Well, one train that we were ahead of, curve we were ahead of, train we were on in these playoffs, in the Golden State series and in the Boston series, is that if you like a side, there's probably a lot more value just to take them on an alternative spread, -6, -7, -8. Someone said that about Boston in the last game. I said that in the beginning of the series with the Golden State Houston game. I was like, if Golden State wins, they probably beat the spread by 10 points. Same thing with Houston, as that has definitely been the case, and it feels that way tonight. Yes, it feels like if Golden State wins and covers, they probably win by 10, and I guess it also feels like if Houston wins, they probably, I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know about that. I was definitely more confident with the Celtics last night than I am with the Rockets tonight, but clearly, I mean, yesterday was ridiculous. the recency bias that we all have was just front and center with everybody thinking the Cavs were going to take care of business, and you get a team that's 9-0 at home at a pick 'em, you jump on that every single time. This is obviously a different situation, but I really do think that doubt has popped into the Warriors' head for the first time.
All right, we want to get to handicapping. I just want to acknowledge all of these comments and handicapping comments. Native Queen also liking the under in the Houston game. She also took Houston first 5 innings under, so we'll see if that works out. Anthony L and Native Queen both liking the first 5 innings under, and a lot of people liking the full game under. Yanks Guy 30 took Astros and under. John Garcia says, are you guys going to cap World Cup soccer? Definitely, bro, right?
Of course.
Definitely, bro. No question about that. Let's see. What else do we have here?
We're going to go heavy on Costa Rica, right?
I don't know. We'll see. But, I mean,
best goaltender in the world. What else do you need?
Yes. I mean, and actually, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of parallels that I found between handicapping World Cup and handicapping the actual the NCAA tournament in college basketball. A lot of times the teams like Costa Rica, remember when they made that deep run, if a small market team, just like a small college in the college basketball tournament, is good enough to make the tournament, a lot of times they are undervalued within the tournament and they will make a deeper run or be good against the spreads better than the market is giving them credit for. And of course, the old assumption that you can make in all sports, in any sports, the big, huge, public-backed favorites that are anointed, that might be a little bit complacent and getting a ton of respect on the market in the markets, are often a good fade. That was the case when Brazil was in the World Cup, and I definitely was fading them. So yes, the short answer is we are definitely going to be handicapping the World Cup, and I definitely love handicapping the World Cup. What else do we have? Yes, Remy CV says King Rail killing WNBA. Yes, absolutely. Some other. Should I read this comment? Annie Marak says, I know what to look for in WNBA, knuckles. Okay. All right. Very
yes.
Yeah.
That was an old video that I made. It's an important thing.
It?
Yes.
Okay. It's a reference to you.
Not WNBA, but just, when you go to these, what's the proper word to call them in Costa Rica? Whorehouses. That's the first thing I look at. I look at knuckles. Knuckles tell the tale.
Very nice, Jimmy the Bag. Kobe Valentine says, did Pete just say Indian Rail? LOL. It's entirely possible, Kobe Valentine. I try to speak as fast as I can, and a lot of times my mouth gets ahead of my brain. That happens every 10 minutes in these videos. All right, so let's see. There's a lot of comments that I would love to get to, but okay. Wait, let me see. Vitalis saying, you're welcome. They're resting 4 players. Vitalis probably had an advice. Oh, Godmother 87 has joined us.
Oh, nice.
Godmother 87 likes Golden State.
Yes, she does.
Yes,
I remember that from the morning show.
Vitalis says, I would be careful on the Brewers. They change their lineup and they're resting players. Yes, I was leaning under in that one, and I have also officially taken the second half under, and I might throw on the full game under as well. Ton of comments coming in. Would love to get them all, but let's move on.
Well, let's get to Jay Peaches.
Okay, go ahead.
If she smokes, she pokes.
Right, Jay Peach. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. I hear you, Jay Peach. I hear you, bro. All right, let's get to the 3 MLB games tonight. Once again, I did give one play, Mets and Milwaukee second half under, and I might also give the full game under on this one as well if there's a 9 available, which there is. Wow, it's getting bet up. Now 9 minus 115 at Bookmaker. Mats, we talk about him a lot. Guy with great stuff, but does seem to have some injury issues and some durability issues, even within games. You know what I'm saying? It feels like, not just in his career, but Mats will look like great for the first 2 innings, and then in the 3rd inning, things will start to unravel. Zach Davies, a guy who seems to have overachieved, at least in my opinion, his whole career, coming back from injury. What to expect from him, not sure, but considering the lineups here, 9 seems like a high total, Jim. Doesn't it?
It does. I
don't get it.
Oh, shit. Sorry, my computer's fucking up.
No, that's okay. It's a high total.
Yes. We didn't break this game down very much. After sweeping the D-backs, the Brewers have now won 15 of 21 games. They're getting both Braun and Davies back. What are we going to get from Davies today? That is the big question mark surrounding the game, and obviously the total. Mets have lost 2 in a row after winning 5 of 6. Mats 1-3, 4.42 ERA, 1.31 WHIP through 36 2/3, 36 Ks, 16 walks. I feel like having Steven Matz' great friend on the as part of our chat has sort of affected the way we cap Matz.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I still have him, and when his friend, a few regular viewers will know this, first-time viewers will not. A personal friend of Steven Matz joined the comment section a while ago and informed us that Steven Matz is a great guy. which is the kind of information that we don't really want to know if we're trying to objectively and sociopathically handicap likely performances on the field. I don't know if it's affected me, really. He has great stuff.
I wouldn't expect it to affect you because, as you told me early in our relationship, that human beings are just random number generators.
That's what you have to try to think of them as. Yes, you have to handicap objectively and, if possible, sociopathically, which is what I try to do. But no, I mean, look, Mats has great stuff. He's just reliant on his slider, and as we know, starting pitchers with great sliders are prone to injuries very easily. Exhibit A, Francisco Liriano, and there's a billion other examples of that. And that's what Matt does. He has a vicious slider, but that's tough on the elbow, and just in general, he's very injury prone and even seems to wear down in games. And then Davies, I'm not exactly sure at all what to expect of him here.
Wow, Nostra total on Mets' first 5 and full game says line should be a pick 'em. Very, very interesting. Mats faced the Brewers on April 13th. Only made it through 5 1/3, 3 earned runs on just 3 hits. 2-1 with a 4.42 ERA, 3 career starts versus Milwaukee. Wow, I find that very interesting. That so he's obviously saying, what is Davies going to give us? Because he has a better idea of what Mats is going to give you. Davies 2-3, 4.24 ERA, but 2-1 with a 5.26 ERA and 5 career starts against the Mets. It's just very difficult for me to trust this Mets lineup to give you to produce any offense whatsoever.
Right.
With Cespedes out, especially with Cespedes out, but even with Adam out, I mean, you're hoping that Conforto is not being the player that we were expecting this year. They just don't look good.
Yeah, disagreement here though. Paulie D says Brew Crew is low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit says Paulie D. And what else do we have here? Zach Schoblom says love Brewers tonight. Might even jump on alternative run line. Justin Searcy says Davies struggles against the Mets, and Tom Marino always with a great take on it. Davies has been much better on the road for 2 years. That's true. I think he struggles today on the first half over. All right. I took the second half under. I like that one more than the full game under. But, this happened to me already once with the Milwaukee game. The Milwaukee game against Arizona. You remember that one? It was 8.5. Got bet way up to 9. Juiced to the over. I was like, I still like the under. I don't get it. Final score 1-0. I think you're right here. The Mets don't have a lot offensively. Davies a huge question mark. Even Matt's a bit of a question mark. But at 9, I'll take it. I'll take the Milwaukee game. Mets-Milwaukee under 9. Under 9 minus 115. That's the current line at Bookmaker. And I've already given the second half under as well.
Maybe Jay Peach's breakdown will help. He says, I want to punch Mats in the face every time I watch him.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Jay Peach. King Rail says, Pete, you need to hit a comedy club and do open mic. I swear you would kill it. I think I would.
I know you would.
I think I would.
I know you would.
I can even do impressions that people don't know about. I don't like impressions because they're kind of like, impressions are just kind of like, I see what you did there, unless you do it in a really different way. But we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
We'll talk about that later. Thank you for the compliment. By the way, King Rail, can't wait to meet this guy.
I have a fear just creeped in my head. What's happened to Mutt Beast?
Jimmy the Bag. Do we have enough time to discuss? I don't know. That is a good question.
I'm worried.
Who knows?
Sick. The simplicity, the brilliant simplicity of Mutt Beast. I miss him desperately.
But something tells me we have not heard the last of Mutt Beast in our comment section. Something tells me he will pop up again out of nowhere, and first comment will probably be 4 words long and will probably be very funny and hilarious.
Joe D says tailing Pete on the under 9.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was leaning that way. Obviously, the big question here is the 2 starting pitchers, which is why in the morning show I had no problem giving the second half under as an official play. Now I've doubled up on it. We'll see. John Garcia says Brew Crew underrated right now. You think so?
No, not at all. I mean, their first team nationally, they had 30 wins. They've now got 31. Everyone's talking about their bullpen. I think they're the talk of baseball actually in the last 72 hours or so. Brent Brooks says, I am Mutt Beast. Okay.
Bill Buttlicker says, Pete, did you do theater in school? I actually did just a little bit, and after a little bit, I was like, get me the hell out of here. I don't want to hang out. These are the last people I want to hang out with. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, how the hell does anyone cool ever, make it in show business, because you have to hang out with all these douchebags. You know what I mean?
I do know what happens, though, once they make it.
Things are and Paco Healy says no Dan Kelly too. Where Dan Kelly actually shows up. Dan Kelly actually does show up. All right, let's see what else do we have here. I'm looking for comments. I'm actually looking for advice on this Mets game. Let's see what else do we have here. Sorry, I'm just spazzing out a little bit.
Do your thing, man.
Thanks, man. Barsaman says Davis is 2-1 with a bad ERA and 5 career starts against the Mets. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Richard West says hard to fade the Brewers playing so well right now. And yet, -110 Nostra Tota thinks the Mets should be even money. Is that what he said?
Yeah, so it should be a pick 'em. I think because of the question mark around Zach Davies. When Davies comes off the DL, we know his history is of being a very slow starter.
Yeah.
With that, how could being on the DL help him? Right? Every year it takes him. Now, this year isn't a good example because he was injured, but every year it takes him 10 starts. So many starts that I made the terrible blunder of dropping him from my baseball pool last year, and then he went on to win 17 games, made me look like an asshole.
All right. Well, Kobe Valentine says, "Yo, Pete, I like the Mets. Mats has owned Milwaukee. Milwaukee is not the best at home." Yeah, I just don't know about this Mets lineup. But okay, so are you going to make a play on this game, Jim?
I am not.
You're not. Okay. Other two games. The only other two games we have: Boston and Tampa Bay. Porcello against Snell. That's definitely an interesting matchup. And I think I'm just going to pass on this one. Snell obviously is great, but something tells me he might struggle a little bit more here against the tough lineup. And Porcello's been very reliable. I guess I would be leaning Boston, but I don't know if I want to take him here. The line, similar to the Cleveland game, has moved in Tampa Bay's favor about 10 cents. Opened at +117, now down to +108 at Pinnacle for Tampa Bay. And then the KC Texas game, Duffy against Beebens Dirks. I was going to look at that one in the afternoon, but I didn't get a chance, and I think I'm going to pass. What do you have to say about either of those teams, Jim?
I have plays for both of those games.
All right, okay.
First off, I'm on the first 5 with the Tampa Bay Rays. Couple reasons. First off, Red Sox are smashing righties and having trouble with lefties, which is surprising with a team with JD Martinez on. Red Sox are batting just .241 with a .675 OPS, and Snell has been especially sharp versus these Red Sox. Held them scoreless for 5 2/3 March 30th, then limited them to 2 runs in 7 1/3 April 27th. He would have gone further in that March 30th, but that was the first start of the season. For the season right now, he's got a 1.38 ERA against Boston. If there is a weak spot with Boston, it's them against lefties, and I think that they're abusing this bullpen in Tampa, so I don't want them on the full game, just on the first 5. Tampa's dropped 3 straight. Boston's won 4 straight. Rays have been using the bullpen too much. Now Ferry is hitting the DL. There's going to be more of that to come. Alex Cora does say that it's not an easy team to prepare for because on a daily basis something different might happen, but he can prepare for them in this situation. Porcello's been excellent. 6-1, 3.39 ERA. That ERA is climbing, but he's been very good against the Rays. 2-0 in 3 starts. All Red Sox wins. 3.10 ERA. 70 strikeouts to 1 walk. He's 14-8 career against Tampa with a 3.23 ERA. 4 of those losses were coming last season when he was awful. Anthony Ellis' Rays bats have regression coming in. Porcello's been good. Snell is awesome. First 5 under all day. That's an interesting play. They're only hanging a 4. Under 4, I believe, for the first 5 under.
For Porcello and Boston.
Porcello and Snell.
I mean, obviously it makes sense. Porcello's very reliable. Snell, when he's on, is lights out. I mean, that might be yet another first 5 innings under that we're just leaving money on the table with.
Yes, it very, very well could be. And yesterday was that exact case, not taking the first 5 under in Marlins Mets. And I just, what I've stopped doing in my losing streak since Friday is I've just not been taking that simple low hanging fruit. For some reason, I'm like, no, it's too simple, it's too easy. Maybe that's just too easy.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of times, like when I'm up a few units, you can push things and have a little bit of fun, like I did with the reverse run line with the Giants against Houston against Verlander. But if you're down, one thing that tends to help me a little bit is just to be like, all right, I'm not going to push any plays. I'm just going to look for the obvious kind of no-brainerish plays. There's going to be a few where they'll lose and you'll look back and be like, oh, maybe that was a trap. Maybe I got unlucky. But you're probably more likely than not just going to, build a couple units here. It takes discipline in sports betting. And when you're down a few units, that discipline can pay off.
So, yeah, I guess. Colby says Snell's 1-3 with a 5.95 ERA versus Boston, and that is an example of the kind of stat I would just put a line through because he was so awful to start last year, and he's been so much better since the end of last year and this year. So I understand giving the stat out, Colby. Don't get me wrong, but I think the more important stat is that he has a 1.38 ERA against them this year in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, When Snell got his control under control, and we knew that was going to happen. We were like, if he ever figures out his issues with control, he's going to be a top pitcher, and that did happen.
King Rails says first 5 is at 3.5. Is that? I thought is there a couple fours?
It's 3.5 or 4 heavily juiced to the under.
Okay, I'm taking Tampa Bay Rays first 5.
Okay, we're gonna give you minus 101. That's the current line at Pinnacle, and so Porcello does have some blow up potential here. Are we leaving money on the table with this first 5 under?
I don't know. I mean, Kobe makes a good point saying when you see a pitcher twice in a short span, the advantage goes to the hitters.
Yeah,
I would agree with that, except the Red Sox just aren't hitting lefties.
Yeah.
They're just not hitting them. They're smashing righties and not hitting lefties.
Yeah. I've gotten burned pushing it. I should have just stuck with wait, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. All right, so you're going to take Tampa Bay first 5 innings, money line minus 101, and the other 2 games is going to be a pass for you, right, Jim?
No. Okay. I am doubling up
Oh, shit.
on the Texas Rangers here.
Okay.
Beebens Dirks, I have now maybe a vividness bias from that start last year, but Danny Duffy is awful. And I don't see that changing. The Rangers have momentum. And again, I mean, we're talking about biases. I mean, we just watched them put 12 on the Yankees, but they have momentum. And this has been a clubhouse that's been in the dumps all season. And being in the dumps at home. So those things are changing. They're still just 9-17 at home. I'm taking them first 5 and full game. I almost took them full game and reverse run line and decided to not do that and to take them first 5 because I am also fading Duffy is a big part of that. Royals are coming off their first road series win of the season. Duffy 1-6, 6.88 ERA, 1.73 WHIP. Looks awful. 14 home runs in 51 innings. Allowed 5 runs in 4 innings in his most recent outing. That was against the Yankees. 1-2, 3.25 ERA in his career against Texas. But again, this is kind of stat that I put a line through. Beeben Dirks, not a lot of tape on him. He, as you said, he's an emotional guy. He's going to be very amped up for this game. I don't like that much. But I just feel like there's a change in the clubhouse. And I'm going to double up on this Rangers game. And Alan actually says Rangers game basically a pick 'em. And then Nostra Toda says wrong team favored, volatility, Rags, reverse run line. Rags being these Rangers.
Yeah, well, it's I mean, again, I don't know I don't know if this is a typo, but I'm seeing. Let me just go to the Pinnacle line history here. Yeah. KC was a plus 121 underdog on opening at Pinnacle, and now they're minus 114 at Pinnacle. So that's a 35-cent move on KC.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was real either. I mean, let me go to Pinnacle.
Oh, that's a real. No, I just checked the. Yeah. And even a bookmaker. Let's check bookmaker at bookmaker. The opening line was was plus 110. Yes, KC was a dog. A healthy dog when they opened, and now it's just a huge line move in favor of KC. They opened at plus 125 at Bet Online. Now they're minus 108. So this was a 35-cent market move in favor of KC. That's a move and a half there.
It's very concerning.
Yeah,
and the total went from 9.5 to 10. It's very concerning, but I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm going to stick with Texas here.
Okay. All right. All right. So people are and what's everyone saying about that Boston Tampa Bay first 5 innings? Wow, it dropped from 8 to 7 the full game. First 5 innings is still 4 at minus 135 on Intertops. I don't want to push it, Jim. I don't want to force it, but I feel like we're maybe leaving just the obvious money on the table. And Porcello's good, right?
I guess. Well, Porcello started extremely hot, and that ERA has been going up.
All right, I'm going to hold off on that one. You never know what's exactly going to happen. I'm going to hold off on that one. That's definitely a lean. Boston, Tampa Bay, first 5 innings, under 4, minus 135, current odds at Intertops. All right, so you want Texas here? What do you want, Jim?
I do. Teddy B saying, Jim, Loshak, Rangers, first 5 over in Texas. And Teddy B has been handing out winners, and I've not been taking them enough. But in saying that, I think I'm. Oh, and Parlay Poppy. Parlay Poppy's bet of the day. Rangers team total over 5. Texas bats are trending hot. While Duffy is not.
Oh,
Jim
nice.
Bean saying Danny Duffy auto fade.
Yeah. What about the first 5 innings team total? Is that a 2.5? Let me see what that would be. Texas. Yeah. Wow.
Is that 2.5?
2.5 minus 107. Not even big juice. Yeah. I mean, Duffy is definitely vulnerable. No question about that. No one disputes that, right?
Nobody disputes that.
No one disputes that.
And the weather's nice enough.
Yeah.
Weather was gorgeous yesterday. It's going to be nice today. 90 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, wow, that is definitely another lean for me. Texas, first 5 innings, team total over 2.5, minus 107, and Boston, first 5 innings, under 4, minus 135 at Intertops. Wow, tempting stuff here.
Couple things here. Mohammed Joma says, man, is that line move on KC enough to stay off of Texas? Nostra Torta says, in these conditions in Arlington, teams average 3 times more homers per game than any other ballpark. He says the Rangers have more pop. Simple.
Positive EV. Wow, positive EV.
And JK says I'm more likely to take a pick if someone gives it to me as a rhyme.
Yes, absolutely. That's Johnny Cochran knew that. That's how he got OJ off. He was like, rhyme. If you rhyme it, people believe it. You know what I'm saying? If you rhyme it, people buying it, or something like that. All right, Jimmy the Bag. Yeah. Wow. In the meantime, I'm thinking that Texas on the first 5 innings over 2.5 might be a great play. Duffy is vulnerable. All right, I'll take that one. I will take that one. Texas, first 5 innings, team total over 2.5 at just minus 107. If it loses, that's a minus 107. That's the current line at Pinnacle. Texas Rangers, first 5 innings, team total over 2.5, minus 107. That's an official pick. Again, the Tampa Bay game, first 5 innings under is a lean. So what do you want to do officially here, Jim?
Well, officially, I want to mention that there's very exciting stuff going on in the chat with action going on with our show.
Yes.
At the half, Pete's at 7 sips of his coffee. 7 sips.
Very nice.
Looks like the supporters of the over will be on the right side of this episode, but he's got to keep drinking. And who knows how much is left in the cup.
Yes, that's the key. I was going to get more coffee, but we ran out of time because I was trying to, buy a ticket before. So actually, I didn't have time to fill up the coffee. And, that's a perfect example, actually, of unequal information. People might not have known that. If I filled it up in the beginning of the show, yes, I probably would be looking at an over. But people didn't know that I didn't get a chance to fill it up. And that's the kind of information that inside information that can put people on the wrong side of a bet.
And that under is going to cash.
Yes, the under is going to cash because you didn't know a key piece of information that was not available to the general public. All right, what are you doing, Jim? Where can you go? All right, thanks very much, Jim. I'm going to pass on that, but thank you very much. Appreciate the thought, Jimmy the Bag. All right, Brad Summersall says Texas looks like a gift in the scary park. Over looks great as well. Yes, again, that is a high total, but it is tempting. I took officially Texas plus team total over first 5 innings, 2.5 minus 107. Jim, do you want to make a bet on this?
Yes,
one?
I want to make a bet. First 5 full game, I've already bet it. Want to make it as official place.
All right, the full game. Let's line shop for you here again. Wow, the line just keeps moving in KC's favor. We're right now going to be able to give you Texas plus 106. On the full game. That is at Pinnacle. It just keeps moving. First 5 innings line. Let's do line shopping here. SBRodds.com. We got plus 100, and I'm going to check what Pinnacle has right now. Plus 100. Let me just check what Pinnacle has. Plus 106. Unreal. Texas also. First 5 innings. Plus 106. All right, Jim. Okay. I sincerely hope you cash.
Well, I think that that Rangers team total over is big. For whatever reason, I didn't write the stats down with the Rangers against lefties. Let me just look that up very, very quickly.
I can check for you. If you'd like. I could check the Rangers. Let me just pull up my sheet here. And also what I'm checking just for shits and giggles is what the alternative run line would be for Texas because they are a dog. I'm checking Bet365 right now. The alternative run line for Texas is plus 220. Wow.
Yeah, and that's when Noster's on and
alternative run line.
Yeah, of course he is, man. He likes big scores. He's sharp as fuck,
right.
Man.
So he's not a believer in this massive line move in favoring KC.
He's not.
All right, let's see. Texas
I'm going to jump with you. I'm going to take it with you. I need the I need the units bad.
Texas Rangers actually have, they have overall on the year, they have poor numbers against both lefties and righties. They're actually a little bit better against lefties, according to my number, but both their numbers year long, this is over the year long, this is not recently, are not good against lefties, are significantly subpar, and but a little bit better than their numbers against righties, which is even worse. So, yeah.
Okay, give me Rangers first 5 team total over.
You want that one? Okay. Yeah. Jim's tripling up.
Teddy B's pushing me to do this as well. Teddy B hands out a lot of winners.
Okay, Texas Rangers first 5 innings team total over 2.5 minus 107. So Jim is now tripled up. Wow, tripled up on Texas here.
And Joe D says triple up spot alert. Mm-hmm. Don't put that shit on me, Joe D. Don't put that shit on me.
Yeah, and the jinx might not extend to you, Jim, but Jacob McNeil. That's what everyone's got to be thinking here. I'm on KC. Reason is clearly the books know something we don't. It certainly seems that way, Jacob McNeil. It certainly seems that way. Just on first blush, Nostratoda doesn't care. He's taking Texas, and I will take just a simple single play on Texas just to hit Duffy a little bit in the first 5 innings. But definitely a crazy line move there. All right, Jim, we've handicapped the hell out of these 3 MLB games. We spent like 40 minutes handicapping 3 MLB games.
There was other stuff.
Yeah,
there was
some other stuff. Yes, that's right.
There was the coffee.
There were shenanigans going on, which is, I think people enjoy that. I think the viewers enjoy.
I haven't screamed yet. I sort of screamed at Joe D. Who's my boy.
All right, before we move on, anything else you want to say?
Anything else I want to say?
No, about handicapping.
Okay.
Let's not open that box of worms right there. Let's not open that box of worms.
About
these 3 MLB games.
No, I need winners fucking bad. I've been on a losing streak since Friday, and I got to get my shit together, Pete.
All right. Boston. So once again, the 3 games, Boston, Tampa Bay, pass for me. Very tempting to take the first 5 innings under, but I'm not going to do it. KC, Texas, huge head-scratching line move in favor of KC. Jim is tripling up on Texas, trying to stack some units, taking Texas. First 5 innings, team total over. First 5 innings, money line, and the full game money line. And I did go on the first 5 innings, Texas money line, along with Jim. Mets, Milwaukee. We'll see how it turns out. I'm on the second half under 3.5, minus 120, as well as the full game under 9, minus 115. We'll see how Davies does in his first start back from the DL. And a lot of disagreement there. A lot of people are suggesting that Milwaukee is low-hanging fruit. Minus 110 Nostratoda and Kobe Valentine, both, though, liking the Mets as an underdog. And that's it for MLB today. Now let's move on to the NBA game. In the morning show, Jimmy the Bag did jump on Houston at plus 100 on the money line. And in the morning show, if anyone caught it, I predicted that that the line move would favor Golden State, that they'd be a 1-point favorite in the evening show, and I believe that has now come to pass. They're a 1-point favorite at the Greek, everywhere else up to minus 1.5. How's that for predicting line movements, Jim? I also predicted that the total would have seen no movement, and that was a little bit off, just a slight line movement to the under.
And that's what I said.
Yeah, very nice. Very
slight
nice,
movement
Jim.
To the under. But clearly it was all about whether or not Clay and Iggy would be in the game, and by all reports, it looks like they will both be playing tonight.
Okay, so it does seem like then that you got a slightly bad number, Jim, taking Houston to win outright at plus 100 as of right now. Obviously, you could get a better number there.
Brooksy, by the way, I don't mean to interrupt, but Brooksy says that the line change simple. Says that Texas is sitting Profar, Jerickson Profar, which I hate because he's starting to get hot for the first time in his whole goddamn career. He's sitting Texas sitting Profar and Guzman.
Okay, there you go.
That's the line move.
And that's That's worth 35 cents. Wow.
No, you're right. There's got to be something else.
I don't know.
That's indicative of not having as much offense.
Sure. All right. So in the meantime, Houston now plus 107 at Pinnacle on the money line, and still just plus 100 at a bunch of other places. Bet Online as a plus 103. So line move in favor of Golden State. My sense is that Golden State and the under are probably the ways that I would be leaning here, but I'm going to stay off this game. A lot of people that I respect are liking Houston as well. I think I saw Doug Upstone saying he likes Houston too. So I'm going to stay off this game. We know Zach Jones is liking Golden State, isn't he? Because he predicted Golden State to win in 6.
He is. Zach Jones' parlay that he wants is Warriors in 6, Celtics in 6, That parlay on Bet365 is at plus 776.
Wow, nice. And yeah, Mohammed Joma saying Golden State alternative line -3.5. And if I was going to bet this game, I would not just take Golden State -1. I would take them, -5.5, something like that, and bet on them having a big, decent margin win. Maybe I wouldn't go over 7, but 5.5, 6, something like that. Hako Schofield on the Rockets. Hako Schofield says Rockets win big. Brent Brooks over 219.
Yeah, the total is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Very difficult. I would certainly lean under without Iguodala having anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I understand that the Warriors are going to try to stay away from the ISO. What does that mean? More ball movement, which means less quick shots, right?
Yeah. I mean,
that's just simply put. If you're going to fight off the ISO, you're going to pass the extra pass. You're going to pass 4 or 5 extra times, and you're going to especially do that early.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. DJ 100 Grand certainly knows where he stands on this game. His comment: Houston, and Houston game under.
And my man Lamont Williams, our man Lamont Williams says, I love you. You're my bro. Don't take Houston.
Mm-hmm. Golden
State's going to win. Don't make sense for Golden State to win 2 games back-to-back. Try to win this series. You know what? If it's an even situation, you're getting a home team at a pick'em. Now that's maybe not quite the situation, but with the banged up Iggy, I think Clay's fine. With Rockets creating this ISO, putting the Warriors to sleep with this ISO movement. Speaking of which, after what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really thinking that the under is the play after what I just said, because the only way for the Warriors to stay out of the ISO is extra ball movement. And when the Warriors put up in Warriors games, when they put up 230, it's because they're taking a shot 4 or 5 seconds. Now maybe that's another way to get out of the ISO is quick shots. Is that another way to get out of the ISO? Just quick pass, quick shot. Because to me, it's extra passes.
Yeah. It's tough. I'm once again staying off this game. DJ 100 Grand likes under the total first half. Flipper 13 kind of knows what he's doing when it comes to sports betting. Says Houston under and Houston to win series at plus 190. Ralph Portuando told you before he likes the Warriors, but also liking the under.
And Twain Seymour saying neither team scores more than 100 points. Justin Searcy says Rockets milk the clock with that ISO, Jimmy.
Jay Peach says this game will go over super late on bad calls or some bullshit over all day. But he sounds like he might be amenable to a play on the first half under, though. He's suggesting some wacky stuff going on late that will send it over. But maybe the first half under is worth a shot. That's what DJ 100 Grand likes as well.
God damn. And CC Fitness says if you're on Houston, the under makes sense. Brand says you're right, Jimmy. The total is too difficult. Dark Kent says Iggy wasn't there to push the ball.
Ron Fig likes the Rockets money line in the under.
God damn. Corey Jones says under. Damn, I agree. Joe D says under's 4-1 in the Warriors' last 5 games following a straight-up loss. 6-1 their last 7 overall.
Okay.
Gravica Mex, I like unders.
Well, I'm passing on this game. Jimmy the Bag has already made an official pick on Houston. And anything you want to add? Dave L.A. quoting the Golden State alternative line, -6.5, plus 200. Yep, that was the way to go in the Celtics game. I don't know. So maybe it was Dave L.A., someone else who quoted that line.
Ski Prophet says they don't get slower by moving the ball more. I don't know if I fully agree with that, Ski, and I wouldn't mind just breaking it down because I'm close to maybe making a move here. And Ski's very, very sharp with NBA. What I'm thinking is, Zach saying Rock's using the whole shot clock almost every possession to avoid the shootout.
Yeah.
I like the under.
You know what?
But extra passing, I find the Rockets are at the Warriors are at their best when they it's a transition offense. They take a shot within 6 seconds.
Yeah. The first half under has gone down as well. It opened at 113. Now it's down to 112. I would definitely be leaning under here, but I think I'm going to pass on it. But definitely, actually, there's got to be a good play here.
King Real saying, great pass, Pete, in play this bitch. Ski Prophet saying, ISO takes the shot clock down. Yes, I know that.
All right, Jimmy the Bag, we do have to get to touch on MMA, touch on WNBA, touch on NHL as well. Anything else you want to discuss here before we move on?
Marco Lou says it's just that simple. Slower pace, lower score. Justin Sears says the only way. Do you mind if I just get 30 seconds? The only
Sure.
way it goes over is if a bunch of turnovers, so they can't get out and run.
Do you want to do you want to do some thinking? I could cover MMA while you're
Yes,
thinking.
yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
Jim wants to think. While Jim thinks, instead of reading comments and thinking about other things and making faces, I will quickly cover MMA Fight Night 130, which is going this weekend in Liverpool. There's a lot of British fighters who will be fighting on their home turf. I was supposed to do the call with Andreas Hale today, but we didn't get to it. We're going to do the call tomorrow, so I don't have his input yet, which is very important. So I have no official picks. Obviously, the main fight here is a fascinating fight. Darren Till against Wonderboy Thompson, and similar to the KC game, a massive, massive line movement, head-scratching line movement in favor of Darren Till. A few days ago, Till was plus 140 as an underdog, and I was thinking, you know what? He might be only plus 140, but he has a shot to win this thing. He might have a little bit of value at plus 140. Now he's the favorite. I was blown away when I saw that. Darren Till minus 125. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson now plus 105 as a dog. And I really don't know what to make of this huge line movement. Thompson is no joke. Darren Till is still on his way up, still has to prove himself, still has, an offense that's not fully rounded yet. Most of his offense comes from the left side, and Stephen Thompson is, of course, maybe the best kickboxer in the world, and now he's an underdog to Darren Till, who obviously is a great, obviously has a lot of confidence in himself, and I wouldn't, at plus 140, I might have made a bet on Till, but at minus 125, I don't know what to make of Till as a favorite. I wanted to get Andreas Hale's take on this one, and we didn't get to it, but we'll be able to do that video tomorrow. Very interested to hear what he has to say about this one. At plus 140, I was leaning Till with value. Now at the current lines, I have to say Thompson should. How can Thompson be an underdog here? I understand that Thompson is that Till is fighting in his home country. I understand he's got a ton of confidence. He's got a big mouth. He's going to have a ton of fans behind him. But how is Wonderboy a dog here? How is Wonderboy a dog here? And here you go. Parlay Poppy says, love Wonderboy here. Plus 105 is amazing. Darren Till is unproven. Who has he beat? Donald Cerrone over. Yeah, the Cerrone fight. And I was all over Till on that one. I was all over Till on the Cerrone fight. But that was partially because Cerrone is a guy who's very beatable. Does he have a guy like Till coming in? Of course, Till's going to roll him, but that is not what Thompson, what he's going to fight with Thompson is. Yes, Parlay Poppy says Cerrone was just fighting to cash checks. Thompson is uncrowned welterweight champ and has fought the best. Yes, two tough fights against Woodley, and now all of a sudden Thompson is an underdog to Darren Till. And I just don't quite get it. And we will review. I'll review what Andreas Hale has to say about this one in tomorrow's videos. Let me see, what else do you have here? Yeah, and Blake Kersey saying Euros move the line. It's entirely possible that this line movement is just being completely driven not by sharp money but by homer money from the Liverpool crowd.
What do you think about what Blake Kersey's saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Till by decision. Case local judges try to rob Wonderboy.
Yes. Yes. Definitely definitely the case. It definitely feels like if Till wins, it's probably going to be because he is able to close the distance on Wonderboy and get like a second round knockout or something like that, which is not unthinkable. My sense is that if Thompson is doing what he does well, the fight probably does go over. The total is 3.5 minus 115. I'd be leaning that way as well. I don't know. This is a fight that I'm still thinking about. It's very interesting. It was interesting before the line move, and now with the big line move, it's even more interesting. Again, we're going to cover this again tomorrow on Friday, and I'm not sure what I think about it, but this is a very interesting fight, Jimmy the Bag. Darren Till's kind of like a Conor McGregor light, right? Like he's got a big mouth, great skills, and so far he's had the skills to back it up, and but he's stepping up here. I remember when Conor McGregor was coming up, big mouth, and I was like, this guy's gonna get his scalp taken off. You know what I mean?
Scalp?
Whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but he proved in the end that he did have the skills to back up his talk, and maybe Till is the case. That same case with Till, but Wonderboy is no joke. And I'm just shocked that Till
Cody AV says, go watch Wonderboy versus Woodley, and it'll answer your question.
Yeah, but that's Woodley. You know what I'm saying? How can you? Till hasn't faced anyone close to that. fine. So if Till got a great knockout against Cerrone, that is totally, totally different. You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on to the rest of the card. Other interesting shit. Neil Magny against Craig White. Now, this is another interesting one. Obviously, Magny should be...
There's only 4 minutes before your WNBA.
Oh, yeah. Fuck W. No, I mean,
Do you want to give it out before and then go back? Just
I
because
guess
there's 4
so.
minutes.
I guess so. Yeah, let me just...
I don't mean to interrupt,
no,
but just-
please. It's just, yeah, WNBA. I don't... Do we lose viewers? Do our ratings crash when we talk about WNBA?
Our ratings viewers, they want to know. The Melee Palace Wade's putting in Fever full game over, and there's just we have 3. Can you do it in 2 minutes or 3 minutes?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on the overnight line, I was definitely looking at taking Connecticut. In the morning show, they were -3, and I said I liked them there at -3. Now they're up to -4 or 4.5. I think that Connecticut is probably the play here. Washington against Indiana. This is another one. I liked the under, but that one is headed down. It's 154.5, and I'm gonna have no official plays on LA, Connecticut, and Indiana, Washington. The big problem is that there's not a lot of overnight lines for WNBA, so it makes it tough for me to do my overnight handicapping and make a decision. But I was definitely looking to take Connecticut no matter what the line was, and obviously there's been a massive move, 7-point move here in favor of Connecticut from the opening line, and so if it would be tempting for me to take a shot with
Blake Kersey's on the Suns.
Yeah.
Hako Schofield says the Sun and over.
Yeah. I was definitely leaning Connecticut, although in the morning show, Antoine Seymour said, don't take Connecticut, Peter. They suck as a team. But no, I think that Connecticut is probably the play here. I was definitely leaning that way on the overnight line. And yeah, they opened up at Pinnacle. At Pinnacle, Connecticut opened up on the money line at +152, and now they're -170.
Jesus.
Opened as a money. See, that's WNBA. That's because there were sharp people. I mean, if I didn't catch that. But if I had caught that, in fact, that wasn't even an overnight line. That was a line in the morning at 9:00 a.m. So in between 9 a.m. and now, there's been a 120-point move on the money line in favor of Connecticut. I didn't catch it. If I had caught that at any kind of an underdog line, I definitely would have been on Connecticut. I'm not going to take it now.
Flippers on Connecticut -3 in the under.
Yeah, I mean, I was before when I handicapped this game before the lines were out. I was going to take Connecticut, and if I had just friggin' woken up early enough and just checked the line, I would have pounded Connecticut as any kind of an underdog. But as of right now, I'm going to pass. That Connecticut probably wins. Probably still a good bet at -170, but I'm going to pass. All right, let's get back to MMA. Love MMA. Neil Magny against Craig White. Craig White is a tough one. Obviously he's stepping up here. Magny is a great guy. My sense is that Magny might be a little bit cautious and careful because White does have knockout power, and I was thinking that the over might be a great play here. The total is just 1.5. It's the over is 1.5 -125. Magny's a huge favorite. Obviously, White has a kill or be killed strategy in the ring, and he might do that here. And if he does, it's possible that Magny gets a first round knockout, or maybe White catches Magny and he gets a first round knockout. My sense is though that the over 1.5 rounds at -125 might be worth a play. I'm going to wait on that. Then Allen against Burnell. I want to see what Andreas Allen say about that as well. But Allen definitely has the edge. He should be a big favorite here. I was thinking maybe inside the distance with Allen, even though the market is expecting this fight to go the distance. And then Jason Knight against Makwan Amirkhani. And I was thinking that Knight might be the play here at -150. He's coming off of back-to-back losses, but he was sick in his last fight, fought anyway, and regretted it. Knight is off of 2 straight losses. Hard to imagine him getting a third straight loss here, and I think he should have the edge here. He's got a reckless style, has a lot of fans, leaves him open to damage, so he could get caught. But my sense is here that it's not likely that he's going to lose a third fight in a row, and I want to take Knight here at -150, but I'm not going to make that one an official pick here. Also, Bermudez against Grant. Bermudez, of course, is undefeated. I thought that Bermudez was worth a shot when he was -225 earlier in the week. I was going to give that as an official play to Andreas Hale. Now he's up to -275, so I'm going to think about this, but definitely liking Bermudez. And then Spicely and Stewart, I'm not exactly sure what to think about that one. So that's the overall. That's my overall take on UFC Fight Night 130. If you gave me a free play right now, well, my leans. I'll just tell you what my leans are. My leans would be over 1.5 in Magny White. My leans would be to take Jason Knight at -150. And my other lean would be, even though it's a huge, favorite line. I don't even know if this is a lean. I want to take Bermudez, but he's minus 275. Is that too high of a line? I don't know. Davy Grant has had a bunch of injuries, showed a lot of promise, got a lot of injuries though, and I'd want to take maybe a shot with Bermudez. But so basically, I have two plays that I'm liking. I think Knight at minus 150 to win, and the Magny fight over 1.5 rounds, minus 125. Let's see if there's any comments coming in here.
Bill Butler loves Bermudez.
Yeah, me too. And I would definitely give him a pick as a pick at minus 225, minus 275, a little bit more iffy. Josh Peacock says Bermudez by submission. Yes, I was thinking about Bermudez inside the distance
Bill
as
says
well.
Spicely.
You might be right there. Yes.
By submission.
Okay. And let me see. What else do we have?
Chris Loma says hearing the Bermudez fight might get canceled.
Yeah.
You know what that would be about?
No, I don't. All right, I'm just looking at other comments. And all right, that's it for initial thoughts on UFC Fight Night 130. Once again, I'm going to do my video. It's planned tomorrow with Andreas Hale, and hopefully I'll have more information and maybe some official picks in the Andreas Hale video, and I will share them with you in the videos that Jim and I do tomorrow. Parlay Poppy says Magny 4-4 decision to finish ratio. Yes, it's a tough one. It's just a very, very low total. Magny is a very smart fighter. You know what I mean? So he knows that this guy, he knows what White's going to come in and try to do to him. And I think that, and you got to assume also that that White, obviously White fights his style, but he knows he's stepping up in class, so he's going to have some respect for Magny. Oh man, over 1.5 rounds. Feels like a good bet to me. White against Magny. All right. That's it for MMA. That's it for WNBA. And now let's move on to an NHL. Jimmy the Bag. Of course, we were talked about this series in the morning show. Knights are favored, but some early money at least coming in on the Caps. A lot of people have all their opinions. Farouk Islam says Caps in 6. Write it down. A lot of people suggesting that the Knights are a great bet. King Rail likes the Knights, but not to sweep. SBR Forum. Commenter SBR Forum was asking about what the line is for the Knights to sweep, and it was plus 1,100, 11-1 on a sweep by the Knights, and he said he loved it. Any thoughts, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, clearly, from a value standpoint, the Capitals would be the bet, getting a big plus.
Think so?
Spot. Yeah, I mean, but what the Knights have done is almost unprecedented in the playoffs. We talked about how it was just the 88 Oilers to win a Stanley Cup in 20 games. Knights have already done this in 15 games. Are the Knights just going to roll over these Capitals? I mean, I don't know. This is an experienced Capitals team. And if you look at just top-end talent, you'd have to say the Capitals have it. It's just, it's hard for me to cap the magic that's in this Vegas Knights squad. I mean, it's just hard to with pen and paper decipher exactly. Like if you just look at the rosters, you'd say, well, how did they even get here? So I'm going to need more time, definitely. But yeah, I mean, my initial feeling is, again, and I know I'm going to take a lot of heat for it, and what a blunder I've made all season, and I get it. But my official feeling is the Capitals win at home in Game 6.
Well, the initial line move, as far as the series is concerned, the initial line move did favor the Capitals. They're about plus 125 when the line opened. At least that's what I saw. About a 10-cent move, on money coming in on the Capitals. We will, of course, have a lot of time to give series plays tomorrow if you want. You can give a specific result, Jim. You can take a series play on the Capitals, or we can just throw around some analysis and not give any picks.
Very interesting stuff here. Kersey says, Jimmy, can we talk MVP odds? Holt be plus 350. Maybe, but how they could not give it to Ovi with the way he's throwing his weight around and scoring big goals, but that's very tough. And clearly, if it's with the Knights, it's Fleury without any doubt. Tomar said, I think the value in the series will be betting the Caps on the road. You should get great plus prices the whole series. Best value in the playoffs has been Capitals on the road. No Chatoda says, both teams don't belong here. Flip a coin, bet it, and enjoy this shit show. Rostradamus says, Vegas 8 days between games may not be good in their hometown. You know what? We saw that. We saw that when they got the big break and then went into Winnipeg and we're down 4-0 instantly. So that's a great point by Rostradamus. Great point. Mac Darwin says, agreed. Vegas Caps very hard to cap. It's it's just as this whole playoffs has been. I mean, whatever make you happy says fuck man, Jimmy mushing my caps. You know what I have to say about that. Whatever make you happy. If every play I was saying, if every team I was saying good things about lost, I wouldn't be up 20 units over the season.
Right. That's absolutely right.
Semen sipper.
And I will say that I'm doing very well in NHL. I'm up about 30 units. At least half of those units go to Jimmy the Bag. At least half of those units came from listening to Jimmy the Bag's breakdown of the regular season. Of course, for most of the regular season, Jimmy was way ahead of me in NHL. And if it hadn't been for sitting next to him and listening to what he was saying, take it to the bank, I would have been down a few units in NHL overall. So I should probably just slide over a stack of 20 units just out of thanks for the way you helped me in the regular season. And I'm not just saying that.
That's
I'm not
very
just saying
kind.
that.
I mean, everybody's seen me get destroyed in the playoffs. I was hoping to hit 50 units on this show, and I thought I had a chance to do it. And I still did, even with the playoffs, because I had the Penguins. Even when I was losing early in the playoffs, I had the Penguins futures at really nice spots. But in saying all that, the Knights have been on this magical run, and it's a difficult thing to cap. And the people who are, I don't want to try to edit myself a bit. Like there's people making tons of cash on the Knights, and they're good gamblers and not necessarily very knowledgeable in NHL hockey. And it doesn't matter. I mean, a good gambler can succeed, like we're talking about with the World Cup. I mean, you can succeed in other sports that you may not have a vast knowledge about just because you're a great gambler.
I succeeded in curling, and I don't think that was a fluke. I was using basic handicapping principles that apply to all sports. There's some that do. I don't know shit about curling, but I did my research. I know what to look for, and absolutely. So Jimmy the Bag. And also especially in the NHL, definitely in the NBA, but especially in the NBA, in the NHL, the playoffs is a different animal from the regular season. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I destroyed the last 2 years with the Penguins. I destroyed it
in the playoffs.
Yeah. Huge futures bets cashing. I felt extremely confident, especially with the Pens on the road. So I don't know if it is. I just think that some years just go against script.
Yes, absolutely.
Some
years you have a good read on certain teams and tendencies, and some years you just have a bad read on certain tendencies and teams. You know what I'm saying? That happens to me in all sports.
And I certainly had a bad read on some teams this year, and the Vegas were one of them. I just I thought when the Kings went in there and beat them, and then had that home and home and beat them in both those games, I was like, see, push has come to shove, and the big boys are saying we've had enough. And I was wrong, and it's okay. Like I'm not saying I wasn't wrong. I was so wrong with the Knights and with the playoffs, and that's what makes capping exciting. You got to learn from your losses.
That's right. And still, in the end, the proof. In the end, all you got to do to see how you did overall, taking all the good and the bad, the pluses and the minuses, is what your overall record is. And Jimmy the Bag, you're up about 18, 19 units in NHL, something like that. And your overall ROI is absolutely fine. It's not 6% like it was at times in the regular season, but it's still a nice positive percentage. And you should be damn proud of yourself, even just on your record, having nothing to do with how much you helped me with my record in NHL in the regular season. And on that note, we can wrap up NHL. Last show, we forgot to give Lucrative Larry's play of the day. That was my fault and Jimmy's fault. We just forgot it, but we're not forgetting it this time.
No, we're not.
We're going to do it. Lucrative Larry, are you ready? Lucrative
Larry's got to get his shit together, too. We need winners from Lucrative Larry.
Play of the future. Lucrative Larry, please come in and share with us whatever you got for us. The more awkward, the better, but try to do whatever comes naturally. Act naturally, as they say.
Okay. I've been put on notice. I've been sucking lately. But I think I have an edge today. That's why I'm taking the Yokohama Bay Stars against the Yakult Swallows. They've lost 5 games in a row. I'm going to take them minus 112 at Pinnacle. I'm not failing you guys. Let's do this.
Okay. What did he say?
When times are tough, you go to Japan, and he's on the Yokohama Bay Stars.
Okay, Yokohama Bay Stars minus 112 at Pinnacle. I have a feeling he's going to turn it around with this pick. Maybe I'll tail that one. Thank you so much, Lucrative Larry, for your play of the future. And is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Thank you so much.
You know what? It's not it.
No, it's not. What's that?
I'm taking the under in the Warriors-Rockets game.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Jimmy the Bag with a last-minute play. See, that's why you never want to click off this show until you see the final SBR graphic show up, because you never know what Jim or I might throw on. Let's do some line shopping for you here at SBRodds.com. 219 minus 106. That's at Pinnacle. Jim is taking Houston under 219 minus 106. So Jim is on Houston and the under in the NBA. On that note, we can wrap the show up. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern Time.